Hello, beautiful creatures of my world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It is Friday, and that mixed precipitation that we were supposed to get has now been forecasted to turn into snow this afternoon. All snow event. Isn't that grand? And I can probably stop whinging and whining about not being able to snowshoe in the far north of Maine up along the Canadian border. I know, y'all can't wait till I shut up about that. We gotta get at least a 3-inch base on the ground. 6 would be great. 12 would be fantastic. If you are out and about this afternoon, maybe you're driving home from work, please slow your roll on the road so you can get back to your family safely in the crown of Maine. Today, we're going to talk about a mystery that's afoot. The mystery of Burnt Jacket Mountain. Who bought Burnt Jacket Mountain? Nobody knows, but the locals are upset. For those of you who don't know, Mainers know, for the rest of the country, when we read a Stephen King novel, we laugh like crazy because the way Stephen King describes the quirkiness of the town, the oddity of the people that live in the town, the dark clouds of mystery hovering over the towns. Yep, he's smack bang on. A little bit of embellishment, but he is smack bang on. There is always something going on in small Maine towns, and everybody knows everybody. And if you don't know the person, you know somebody who knows the person, related to the person. It's absolutely crazy. Small Maine towns have a lot of open secrets, a lot of skeletons in the closets. When something happens, everybody knows who done it. Everybody knows why they done it. It's just a matter of gathering the evidence to prove that they done it. I hope you're all having a beautiful day wherever you might be. I hope you're having a day filled with fabulosity and dang good coffee, because we all need dang good coffee to get through this thing we call life. Let's talk about the mystery surrounding Burnt Jacket Mountain. Who paid $8 million for the 1,400-acre piece of property near Moosehead Lake? Nobody knows. There's suspicion. There's been some sleuthing by locals. There has not been much of a confirmation, not even from Hank McPherson, the former owner of Burnt Jacket Mountain. Hank McPherson is a retired logging magnate. Now, in 2022, there was a very famous person that visited the area, that hiked the mountain with his wife. And then the mountain was purchased, and nothing happened. Everything was status quo. Nobody had any reason to question who may or may not have bought the mountain. They were able to hike up the mountain and hike down the mountain just like it was under Hank McPherson. And then a curious thing happened last October. An anonymous email was sent to the Greenville Tourism Center. And that email was 2 sentences asking and advising the Greenville Tourism Center to stop promoting hiking on Burnt Jacket Mountain. It was now owned privately and would be a private piece of property. Residents didn't pay no never mind. They were still hiking up and down the mountain in October. And then one day, people went to utilize the mountain, and there was no trespassing signs, private property signs, and a fence. Now, this sparked some discussion at the local coffee shop. What was going on the mountain? Why do we no longer have access to the mountain? Who the heck bought the mountain? Investigations started being done by locals. Turns out, Burnt Jacket Holdings, LLC, purchased the mountain. Hank McPherson was contacted and asked who he sold the mountain to. Hank doesn't know. He sold it through his lawyers to a company, Burnt Jacket Holdings, LLC. Soon, there was construction on the mountain. Construction crews constructing a road. So some local folk, they went to find out from the construction crew who they worked for. Imagine not knowing who you work for. The construction crews had no idea. Some speculate that the construction crews actually signed NDAs. Not getting anywhere, people decided to investigate at town hall. And that's when it was discovered by locals that permits for a 3,750 square foot home with decks, patios, attached garages, a parking lot, and a driveway that's going to be about a mile long was pulled and granted. Who is going to move onto Burnt Jacket Mountain? People started digging a little further. Speculation, innuendo. Somebody with a lot of money, $8 million is not quite a small chunk of change. And then a thing happened. Photographs started appearing on Facebook of Mr. Meta himself and his wife hiking, enjoying Burnt Jacket Mountain, Moosehead Lake, and the surrounding areas. So the town has gone wild with speculation and gossip. Now, we don't know who really purchased Burnt Jacket Mountain. All we do know is Burnt Jacket Holdings, LLC, owns the mountain. We know that the mountain went from a place of recreation for local people to a closed fortress that's going to contain a 3,750 square foot house with patios, decks, garages, and a parking lot. Is that to park the Tesla? We're in the early stages of development. The townspeople are quite adamant to discover who locked them off of Burnt Jacket Mountain. Just like the early morning fog that hovers over our beautiful Maine lakes and shrouds the tops of our majestic mountains, Burnt Jacket Holdings, LLC, shrouds the true identity of the person that purchased Burnt Jacket Mountain. But eventually, the morning wears on, the fog lifts, the sun shines through. Eventually, somebody is going to move into that 3,750 square foot palace on Burnt Jacket Mountain, and everybody's going to know for sure who purchased Burnt Jacket Mountain, who put up the gates, who said that they were no longer welcome. And when that day comes, I wish the new owner good luck. May the coffee be with you. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of my world, be the kindness that you want to see in the world. And as always, Carpe Diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.